Morning, everybody. It's the 28th of May. We're Signal Centre talking ball. I'm Joe Napier, joined by Ian and Steve. How are we, gents?
All good in the
Morning.
hood.
All good. Very
Excellent.
tickety-boo. Another great day out there.
It does look like it's going to be a good one again, doesn't it?
It'll
Yeah.
be nice till Sunday, I think, isn't it?
I hope so.
Is it? I mean, I can't remember. I had to water my garden the last 2 or 3 nights because I had sort of like turf laid about a month ago, but it's all still. It still hasn't sort of settled. It's still shrunk and it's in a bit of a bad way.
Oh no! You have to
So
get
I had to get the hose
AstroTurf.
out.
You're going to sit in a
AstroTurf, but that was quite expensive.
You're going to sit in a queue today for about 6 hours, aren't you, Joe?
What, down the tip?
Down the tip.
Yeah. Is that what it's like still?
Well, supposedly the local one's here, Blackstock Road, is one, and I think it's like 3 hours, I think, to get in.
Oh Christ!
Really?
Yeah.
Is it just because the tips have reopened?
Well, just because people haven't got anything else to do apart from the garden.
Yeah, I've got the
So
garage to
it's
sort out today. It's just been chucking stuff into it for months and months, and it's just a mess. So cardboard everywhere. Just got to get rid of loads of stuff.
Didn't I do my garden the other week and I showed you a picture before and after and it hadn't changed? It looked messier after. I did get rid of a load of stuff, but it just looked messy afterwards. But it is better now. So
yeah,
it takes a while to work on it.
Okay, so off the garden chat and the home improvements, how are we doing on the markets? Anything interesting anybody today on the markets that they're taking a look at?
I'd like to ask if you know why they boosted up again yesterday. There was a strong sell-off in stocks in the afternoon, and then a complete reversal.
I think it's just the central bank's buying, and the sort of like the QE that's going on.
Is there a machine that says every time the market goes down 1%?
Absolutely.
Print?
Yeah.
I mean, the S&P trade looked quite solid.
Yeah.
And then turned around and got stopped to the open and ended up closing higher than where we got in.
Well, I said to you that I really fancied NASDAQ, the same sort of trade that you did. I saw you sort of selling the break in S&Ps. I thought, yeah, great idea. Looked at the NASDAQ and I thought, yeah, if I sell it at 93.50, I think, which was just below the previous swing low. Yeah. Target maybe a move to 92, but I couldn't 9200, and I thought 9200 is quite a lot to ask. But it did it. But instead of when I saw you selling a break, I thought I'll go a little bit more cautious and sell into a rally. But the rally didn't happen until later in the day, obviously.
Yeah, but the Dow trade, what did you miss that by about 5 ticks on the upside?
Oh, gutted. No, it's sort of like I was buying a dip in Dow. Yeah. I know, I was buying a dip in Dow. I think on IG it got down to, it was 07 or 08 offered. And on the other platforms, I think it traded down to 11. Devastated about that. What was it? 25,000. We're trying to buy it at 25,000 even. I was in an R and I was thinking about just stepping in front of 25,000 because I always like to sort of just get in front of the real big levels. Sort of like zero levels, because you tend to find people buy in front of those. And I sort of like, again, because I was sort of slightly bearish on the NASDAQ, I sort of didn't. I sort of went straight onto 25,000 and I regretted it because it was by the 9 o'clock, it was up 300-400 points.
Yeah. I was looking at the NASDAQ myself. I mean, it looks to me like there's a bit of a head and shoulders forming potentially.
Yeah.
And a downward sloping one at that as well, which tend to have more
aggressive, aren't they?
Bias, but it was a fairly aggressive sell-off yesterday from the open, and it's sort of the futures were all sort of predicting it was looking okay, and then bang, straight down there to 3 o'clock, and then the 3 o'clock buying machine started, and it just recovered all of those losses.
Yeah.
Savage.
I think we're just going to get this, and we've just got to sort of respect the fact that they're pumping so much into the system. That I think that's you can sort of maybe look at it where you got the industrials, you got the technology, and you got the S&P, which I think is everyone's really focusing on this 3,000 area as a pivot level. Yeah. So I think that there is, it's almost like maybe trading one against the other.
Potentially. I mean, technology is lagging at the minute compared to the S&P, which has not been the case for years, really.
No, I think there's the sort of technology side of things is a little bit, oversubscribed,
Overvalued, yeah.
and they and they're sort
bubbly,
of
I would say.
yeah, and they're sort of looking for value elsewhere. So the S&P maybe is the, but I still have the view that it's just one of those things, a process we have to go through before the next sort of like collapse. I'm sort of pretty sure it's going to happen, but they've kicked the can down the road, and they've taken their ball away. We can't really play fairly. So
Nasdaq's about 3.5% off of the all-time high.
That's
Yeah.
mental, isn't it?
Well, I think I looked at the FTSE today. We're sort of we're just under the when we had the gap open from when the real sell-off started to happen. Was it March the 6th? We had that gap open. Yeah, it won't show the gap on there, will it? But yeah, see where the where's that red line coming in? Yeah.
Here. 66.
It was 6,400, around about 6,400. That's where we had the overnight gap on some chart. Well, over the weekend.
Let's have a look at this chart instead.
See what I don't see why that chart hasn't got a gap, because
it's
unless
the
it trade
sessions.
Well, weekend as well.
Yeah. Sorry, no, not weekend as well. We had the futures on the Friday. This one is just like the 8 o'clock open to the 4:30 close. It's not working. No, it hasn't got the gap on there. Maybe if we do.
Yeah, well, you see where the little swing low is, and I'll show you on my chart anyway. Okay. It's on the RG charts. It's very clear. It's just where it shut on the Saturday and opened up Sunday night, 200 points lower, and that's where it is. So we've got that 62.40 resistance in the FTSE, which was the attempted swing high back in end of April. And I think if we push through there, we're definitely heading towards that 6,400 level, which will fill that gap on the chart.
Look at that on the daily there, the 50% rally. Pretty much nailed that, 62.34.
Yeah.
Produced a shooting star as it stands on the daily chart today. So we've opened up higher and it's been sold off.
Yeah. I feel we're going to close this gap still.
I'm looking at yen crosses today. I think they all look weak.
Okay.
Right.
Which should line up with that. Yeah. So I'll go through them all really. Dollar yen channel, corrective channel as well, I think. So we've had numerous days of choppy price action. This is a 1 hour chart. We've got some bespoke resistance here at 107.98, and we're just sort of coming up to, but every time we hit this 78.6% fib, buyers just keep on emerging. I think that's going to happen again. Euro yen, I'm not quite as clear, but this looks potentially like a wedge formation if you really squint quite hard. Again, sort of that rally up has just been sold into this morning. Aussie yen, 261.8% fib. Again, just these big wedge formations, but the one that I really fancy, and we've missed this morning by, I think, 2 ticks, which is a bit annoying, is this one, Head and Shoulders. New Zealand yen, which we had a go at yesterday. And I think these rallies are just going to keep on getting capped. A break of this level here, 66.30. And the measured move down is down here, 65.30. And it should be noted that if you close below, I think it's 66.10 today, then you get an evening doji star on the daily chart, which is obviously pretty bearish for long-term bias.
Nice.
Steve, you looking at anything?
No, I'm a bit disappointed. We'll talk about it in a second with the my gun to the head challenge yesterday. I thought I was nailed it. Absolutely nailed it, because I bought cable in it. Is that right? Oh my! Have I made that up completely?
Well, let's just get onto that. I mean, I was gonna gloss over the gun to the head stuff today because there was 3 stop outs. So
dear.
We got stopped on New Zealand yen by 4 ticks. I know that.
Okay. And then we got stopped on dollar Swiss and stopped on cable.
Yeah, gutted with cable. It's once we clear this like 122.95 level. Thought, here we go, lovely, all the way up, and then just that reversal just came and smacked me straight on the nose.
Yeah,
there was blood everywhere.
50% fib there from the last decline, but not that you can look at them all. It's ridiculous, isn't it?
I still think that's bottoming out, really.
Do you?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sort of trying to sort of like look at what's going on again with UK opening up and the Euro, what's going on there as well with the Brexit. So, don't know. I'd like to think it's bottoming out, but there's a little bit of pressure we're under.
Sterling Swiss, get it right, and sterling yen. They both look like there's potential inverse head and shoulders on each of those.
Yeah, I've noted that on sterling yen. But squint again. You've got to squint really hard.
You're going to have to. And it's overshot a little bit on the right shoulder.
Yeah. But we'll just hold our breath for a little while.
Yeah, why not? As long as it's not making a lower low.
What, that sort of
thing? Jesus. Should we get the kids in to do them?
Yeah, I think we will. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I mean, I just sort of like think that reversal just is a little bit frightening. Happened on turnaround Tuesday. I know it was Wednesday, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wonky Wednesday.
Wonky Wednesday. I think the dollar's really mixed at the moment. I think it's very hard to get a bias on the dollar, the US dollar, that is.
Yeah.
I think that's thrown a lot of these FX majors all over the place.
Okay, so if we got some guns to the head challenges, ideas today, should we get on with that?
Yeah.
Who wants to go first?
Me. Yeah. No, I'm just straight back on this one. I mean, I would have liked to have got in if we got in earlier, but I'm just going to have to do it here with a stop up here. So it's 3R instead. So New Zealand yen head and shoulders breakout, I believe, is going to happen. 66.67, stop at 67.05, targeting 65.50 gives us 3R.
Okay, I was actually looking at something similar myself, which was New Zealand dollar CAD. Head and shoulders top, broken it, retested the neckline, and
I like that.
So looking for lower prices there, down to some support here. I've got 84.44, which is also roughly lining up with a 61.8% retracement of this move. I'm not sure where the head and shoulders actually targets. Let's have a quick look at that. Similar sort of levels. 84.50. So anyway, selling 85.13. Target 84.44, stop loss at 85.36 for 2.94R.
And what is that, Joe? Sorry again.
That's New Zealand dollar versus Canadian dollar.
Lovely.
Steve? You're on mute, mate.
I'm looking at buying Eurodollar this morning. Looking at this just short-term upward trending support line. But obviously we've got this resistance area. Bring up the daily chart, which is quite sort of like solid around here. We're in the Ichimoku cloud and just forming a bit of a shooting star candle on the daily at the moment, although there's still a long way to go. So it's just rejected a little move above 110.35. That's where it sells. So I'm hoping for a retracement to buy the dip. So on the gun to the head, I'll go for the opposing trade. Because I'm going to have quite a nice stop on it. So trading around 110.08. Is that right? 110.08, and I'll look for a move down to 109. Is 50 enough? And then the stop can be 38. Does that give me, or doesn't quite give me? I have to do the 2-to-1 risk reward. Looking to get short here. 110.08.
Not going to target your entry?
No.
Oh, okay.
You're just trying to sort of throw me, aren't you?
Yeah, just
trying to make your R a bit bigger.
No, I don't need it. 2-to-1's all right.
Don't need it, mate. Don't need it.
I'm sure if it works.
He's on a rally, Steve.
Yeah. Sorry, I doubted you.
No, you didn't doubt me. You're just trying to scupper my little plan.
You've got to be in it to win it, though.
Yeah. Well, it's not working, mate. That isn't working. Don't be a prick for a tick.
I'm a tick on side now. I was a tick off side before I said it. I'm now a tick on side.
Close it.
Okay. Say it again. You've got to be in it to win it. Go on.
Okay, so
it's working.
Day ahead. Well, what happened yesterday, just round that up quickly. We had the ECB President Lagarde yesterday talk about the ECB scenario, saying that currently the plans they've got in place are outdated with regards to the economic contraction, and the contraction itself is seen as somewhere between medium and severe. She insisted that there would be no new euro debt crisis after the pandemic, and as a result the euro gained some support on the back of that because there was further bond buying, and Italian bond yields declined. So they're proposing a €750 billion fund to support the economic recovery, with a further $500 billion in grants and then a further $250 billion in loans. So totaling $1.1 trillion overall.
Lovely. It's quite interesting sorry to interrupt you, Joe, what Bloomberg has said this morning. It says that it is also a radical vision that could herald unprecedented integration between member states.
Interesting.
And that they need to attract foreign investors. Can't see where nobody's got any more money anyway to chuck anywhere. But
just print some more, don't they?
Yeah, just print it. Easy.
Sterling dipped yesterday as well, on the back of further comments from Governor Bailey, who is flip-flopping between negative interest rates and taking them off the table and leaving them on the table and sticking them in the drawer and putting them under the desk. It still sounds like it's an option at the moment, and it's going to really sort of upset Sterling, you would have thought, if that's the case.
Well, as he did such a splendid job at the FCA, I'm sure
don't say that.
I'm sure we're full of confidence.
They're taking you off air, Steve.
I know, I just said he did a splendid job.
Okay.
Do you think that's sarcastic?
Hint of sarcasm in there.
No. I'll tell you what, I've got to re-watch this video.
The US has hit 100,000 deaths.
Has it?
Never.
Yeah, I don't see Trump tweeting about that. He always seems to tweet that when they hit record numbers.
Yeah, okay. Why hasn't he picked that one up? All-time high. No one's ever seen it as high. This is the highest anyone's ever seen it. Not good. Okay, so anything else? We've got quite a bit of data today. We've got Eurozone business confidence at 10 a.m. Then we've got German CPI at 1 p.m. We've got US durable goods, initial jobless claims and GDP all coming at 1:30. So big cluster of data coming out then. Then we've got US pending home sales at 3, followed by crude inventories at 4. So lots to be
Wowza.
Keeping an eye on today.
There's a new called marker arrow on TradingView. I don't know if you want to, if people like sort of these little images they put on the charts. You want me to show you it?
Yeah, go on.
It's in the annotation tools. You go down, it's arrow marker, and you can do this.
Ooh.
Cool, that's a
you like that one, don't you? And you can put a text.
Where's that under?
I
see. Yeah, annotation tools. Also, there was an interesting one there.
The moon.
Anchored
Wrong
VWAP.
colour.
Did you see that one?
Was it?
Anchored VWAP. So volume weighted average price.
Oh yeah. What is it as an indicator?
Yeah. So if you click on where the trend lines are.
Yeah. This one.
Not on there. Sorry. Come off that. On the trend lines. So where the channel is, you've got there.
Yeah.
Anchored VWAP. Fourth one down. So if you draw that from a low, and it'll automatically draw on where the volume weighted average price is for that whole period.
Okay, yeah.
So that really
you get a bit of divergence.
Lines up with your entry on Eurodollar today. So you would expect there to be a mean reversion to the volume weighted average price, because that's obviously where the bulk of the transactions are taking place during that period.
That's quite nice.
Oh God, that's going to keep me really busy all day now.
Trying to search for that holy grail.
Fiddling around with that.
So yeah, you'd be looking for targets on your short trades or entries for your longs.
Yeah.
If there is a big divergence away from the volume weighted average price over a certain period.
Yeah. I'll obviously use it as a bit of a divergence tool, yeah, as well. Although it will stick with the trend then, won't it? It will. Let me see.
Yeah, so the general trend is obviously moving higher.
They've got some instructions with it.
Yeah. Quite interesting though, I suppose, when it crosses over, price crosses over it.
Yeah, I'm just looking at this head and shoulders, and the line comes in virtually at the right shoulder. Oh, sorry, at the neckline.
Oh, we've lost Ian for the day.
Yeah, see you later. You boys go off and do what you like. I'm
Ian,
in
can you
front
do a
of the
webinar
PC.
at the end of the day, please?
Yeah.
On your findings.
Yeah.
Oh,
VWAP webinar.
Let's look at that on the daily. There's the daily chart. Yeah, mean reversion, isn't it?
Hey. Yeah.
Like it.
There you go, guys. Get cracking on that.
Thanks for
that. Just because you've done it there doesn't mean it's going to go there.
I'm sort of like misreading all this. There you go.
Going to the moon.
Okay. After it dips back here.
After it breaks above the VWAP.
No, I mean, don't think Eurodollar's going to the moon. This was just a sort of chart that I had when I put the thing up.
Playing around with trading view tools.
Yeah.
Anything else new on there?
Yeah, let's get the FTSE on there. Going back down there, son.
Going to hell. Okay, should we wrap it up there?
Yeah, I'm boring everyone.
Okay, have a great day, guys.
All right, cheers.
Have a good one.
Cheers, Joe.
Cheers. Bye.